Welcome to Powering the Digital State podcast presented by Economy Middle East and EAND at the World Government Summit. The theme of this episode is building an AI-Fluent Organization. Many organizations are experimenting with AI, but far fewer are truly fluent in it. A fluency goes beyond the tools. It's about strategy, culture, governance, and decision-making at scale. I'm joined by Harrison Lung, Group Chief Strategy Officer at EAND, to unpack this rather interesting topic. Harrison, it's great to have you here with us.
Thank you for having me here today.
Now, what does an AI-first and AI-forward strategy mean in practice for EAND, and where do you see the most tangible business impact?
Being an AI-first or AI-forward company is really about embedding AI in our day-to-day operating. In fact, we're able to embed many AI use cases across our entire business of operations. And let me highlight you some example. For example, we're using AI in building and rolling out our network, prioritizing where to put our mobile stations and providing the best coverage for our customers. We're using AI within the network to reduce the mean time to repair by 80% by really predicting where potential faults and issues may arise. And lastly, within the network, we're also deploying AI in situations where you cannot even see. For example, we're using AI to filter out spam messages from potential phishers and scammers, so you as a customer may not even see it. In addition to our telecom operations, we're also deploying AI in many of our digital adjacent technology businesses. For example, we're using AI in Careem to optimize the catchment area of the delivery drivers so as to really meet the SLAs that they need to deliver food to their customers. In some cases, it's 25 minutes, in some cases, 30 minutes. It all depends on the supply and demand at that particular time. In fact, for Careem, 85% of all customer interactions is actually being resolved by AI. This is a significant number and actually alleviates a lot of time for the employees to spend time directly with the customers on the front line in developing new products and services. We're also deploying AI within StarsPlay, the over-the-top media platform similar to Netflix. In addition to the typical recommendation engine in letting you know which movie or which TV show to watch, we're also using AI for dubbing and subtitling purposes. For example, in the past, you would actually have to hire a team to translate from one language to the next, to hire actors to dub it, to validate. This typically takes months. Now with AI, using the various AI agents, we can do it in a matter of days and weeks, so much faster.
And I want to ask you a little bit about the concept of being fluent in AI. What does that mean in business context? How does it differ from simply adopting AI tools into your business?
This is an excellent question because for us, ensuring AI fluency is not just about the AI use cases in our business operating model. And I've already highlighted a number of them within our telecom operations as well as our technology adjacencies. But what it also means is where we invest our time and money. For example, in addition to my role as Group Chief Strategy Officer, I also have an oversight of EAN Capital, the corporate venture capital arm of EAN. Here, we have actually invested in a number of AI startups so as to embed their capabilities into our business. For example, we invested in a company called Dirk. Dirk provides traffic management capabilities using AI as part of a broader smart city setup to optimize the traffic, to change the traffic lights, and also for overall public safety. In addition to smart city deployments, we also invested in a company called Nawi, which is a prop tech company based in Egypt. Nawi provides fractional ownership, buying and selling of real estates, and similar to like an Amazon for e-commerce, it provides this in real estate by matching the needs that you have, whether it's risk appetite, whether it's capital that you have, whether it's time horizon, whether it's location, into the perfect investment for yourself. So we're actually doing all this as part of our day-to-day business operations.
And if I was to ask you, what are some of the main challenges organizations might face when AI becomes fluent in their operations? What could some of them be?
Well, one of the biggest thing is you've heard time and time again, not just at this event, but many previous events, organization are piloting and doing point proof of concept of AI. But the journey of scaling is not the easiest. And I think that remains the biggest challenge. How do you scale it without losing control? And the reason why scaling is important is at the end of the day, all organizations strive for impact, whether it's customer experience, whether it's top line in terms of revenue, whether it's cost. And if you don't scale, you're not likely going to achieve this impact. So, how do you really get those numbers and quantifiable outcomes up and running, but also doing it in a responsible, governed, and trustworthy way?
And what are the potential risks that are associated with companies that lag in developing AI fluency?
To me, AI is a fundamental technology, similar to what the personal computer was a quarter of a century ago, similar to what mobile was 10, 15, 20 years ago. I think for organizations and companies that do not adopt AI and lags behind, using your words, is actually an existential crisis.
Hmm.
And the reason why that is back to my point about the impact and the quantifiable outcome. If you're not going to be able to achieve it, you're not going to be able to compete with other players who are. Those organizations will have a better cost structure because they can do things more efficiently. Those organizations are going to have better revenue because they can attract customers and retain them better. And those organizations are able going to attract and retain the talent needed to run the organization. So it is critical that organizations be able to not just adopt AI, but ultimately not lag behind.
And continuing with that theme of AI fluency, what governance structures are necessary to ensure that AI fluency supports ethical use and responsible decision making within an organization?
For us, this is a really important topic because it is one thing to really accelerate and to innovate. But how do we balance that in the broader context of governance? Within EN, we do three things. The first is we have an overall AI governance committee that tracks the use cases and ensure that any sort of these tricky questions and situations arise, and we have a broader cross-functional team in discussing it. Second is we're working very closely with one of our technology partners, IBM, in deploying the AI governance platform. In this platform, it's a holistic platform, again, end to end, that tracks the deployment of certain use cases and impact outcome areas. And we embed the tracking of this and governance of this at the very beginning and not the end. And then thirdly, for us, we've also achieved Dubai's highest ranking from an AI governance perspective, which is the AI seal, Tier S. We're one of the first organization within the country to do it, and we're very proud of that. Because it's not just what we do internally, but also an external validation of how we're able to doing it in a responsible way.
Now, AI moves at speeds we've never really experienced before. How do you define who is a AI fluent employee? And how will AI fluent employees reshape hiring, training, workforce development strategies, so on and so forth? It's a bit of a two-parter.
Yeah. To us, it's very holistic. AI fluency for employees is not a grade, it's not an A, B, or C. It's embedded in the way that we do things on a day-to-day basis, ranging from a number of HR and training related programs for our people. And those we have across the board on governance, responsible AI, and different capabilities. We've also rolled out tools for our employees for their day-to-day work to be more effective and productive, right? In addition to the existing workforce, we have the AI graduate program, where for the last 3 years, close to 300 Emirati individuals, fresh grads, have been embedded across the org, doing AI across the different functions, from engineering to sales. And these are the new blood, new talent in our organization that can help further accelerate the overall AI agenda within our culture.
And as a final thought, what's the single most important mindset leaders need to adopt to succeed in an increasingly AI driven world?
AI, as you rightly mentioned, is a very fast topic. It's also very complex. And therefore, for any senior management team, any CEO, any CXO, it must come from the top to have the real vision of how it can affect our business, and therefore the underlying either use cases and implementation plan, and of course, the quantifiable tracking that comes upon it. if it happens everywhere, which is great because people can realize and feel AI in a real tangible way, but you still need that overarching top-down vision and mandate to really govern it, to really manage it, and to really execute against it.